resource-wise sources of revenue. So that they'd be the things I try and do in the 2 years before I was hung, drawn and quartered. On the expenditure side, then again, we need to be a lot cleverer. This is, set 6 billion by basically giving out less money to people. That's one way of doing it. The Colin McCarthy way is going to be take particular programs and take them out and shoot them. And there's going to be particular programs that won't exist in a year's time. I think you need to kind of almost go from scratch and say, how do we do, what is the government there to provide, and how should it provide it? For health, for example, one solution is certainly cutting pay by 15%. The other solution, or another solution, would be to look at a mandatory personal health savings account like they have in Singapore, where the government takes €1,000 in tax from everyone every year, puts it into a savings account, and that savings account is used for their health bill. And above a certain level of procedure, a certain cost, the state will pay it. But for everything else, you've got just like a pensions savings account, you've got a health savings account. I think we need to start thinking in those kind of terms, rather than just going, we don't want to be like the US. No one wants to be like the US, not even the US wants to be like the US in terms of health policy. We need to be thinking in those, much more imaginative. And then I'd write a little book, my thoughts on the final night, and then I'd go off and get shot.
Just a point of clarification. The 60,000 stock for sale, is that just on DAF's website?
That's just on DAF's website, that's right, yeah.
What is the stock for sale for the whole country, taking everything into account?
That's actually quite a complicated question. If I can answer it from the second-hand point of view, DAF has about 90% of the properties for sale in the country.
Right.
So let's be generous and say 70,000 second-hand. New developments, there's 10,000 new developments on Daft. Some of them are going to be one or two properties, some of them are going to be 100,000. It's very difficult to say. So if you have 10,000 new developments, and even if they average 5, so there's probably a lot of small ones and a few big ones, or even 10, then that's another 50 to 100,000. But really, it's the new developments where maybe I should go back to my chart where I said 200,000 is the oversupply. Maybe that's what it is. It's just so difficult to know.
Thanks.
One more question, I think.
Yeah, this will be our last question. Just running out of time.
You've got a figure there for the universal property tax. Is there not a risk in that type of tax of substantially increasing the cost of NAMA? And perhaps you could comment on how that could be structured to minimise the unintended consequences of doing that.
And maybe we can continue this as well, just when we finish up. I'm not sure I fully understand the link between the property tax and NAMA.
Well, the property tax will depress the value of properties, which will depress the value of the stock that NAMA is going to acquire.
Okay, sorry, I see what you mean. Personally, I think it's kind of like saying, property prices were only going to fall 55% until you did this, now they've fallen 58%. I think the bulk of the problem is regardless of whether we have a property tax or not, the bulk of the problem is going to be this 55% adjustment or whatever it turns out to be. Yes, the property tax will be painful at the margin, but it's not going to be painful relative to the overall adjustment. It's my opinion.
Just one quick announcement. We'll be sending Ronan slides around by email. I think we have the majority of emails, but if you think we don't have your email, please leave it on the sheet outside along with your name. So that's it for today. So we thank Ronan.
Thanks very much for the opportunity to speak.